So we're gonna dive in, and we're so excited for today because we have a special guest with us, David Chapman. He's the founder and CEO of 919 Marketing. Hello.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Looking forward to it. Should have a good conversation.
Yeah. So today we're part of our emergency marketing series and helping franchise organizations navigate the global pandemic and what it means for businesses. So as the founder and voice in the franchise community, we're very excited for the webinar today, which is going to talk about the marketing challenges that franchises are facing right now during lockdown, how to strengthen marketing and different things internally as the franchisor, as well as the franchisee. Where do you see like the biggest value where franchisors or even franchisees should invest in terms of their marketing and positioning?
Well, this is again, I see this as an opportunity to have, half glass half full, glass half empty. I see it half full, obviously. One thing I see is that I see often with franchise brands that this branding and messaging is something that everybody wants to explore, but they just don't ever have the time to do it because they're just burning at breakneck speed. To me, this is a great time for you to sort of ensure that your brand messaging is calibrated and it is in fact resonating with the people that you're going after. I see too many times, and we've all seen it at the last IFA show. I mean, I'm not going to name the names, but there are a couple of brands that I talked to there, and the name of their company and the position of their company and the space they're in, there's a total disconnect. So I would encourage everybody to think about, from a brand perspective, is our messaging on target? And when I say messaging on target, I mean for all three levels. Is it on target from a recruitment perspective? Is it on target from the consumer's perspective? And the way that you communicate your brand and your franchisees communicate your brand, is it consistent with what you're doing? So to me, this is a golden opportunity to revisit that. When you're not sort of churning and burning every day and you got time to be more strategic, think about that. And you can do that through some low cost approaches. You don't have to spend a ton of money. I mean, you can do online surveys, with your franchisees, for example. You can do online surveys with your customers. You can do online surveys with past franchise candidates and really get some valuable information to find out if you really are, if that message you're putting out there really resonates or it doesn't resonate. And for me, that's a great opportunity right now, to be able to do that.
We talked a lot about the ideas from branding at the franchisor, franchise development from that top level, but what about as the franchisee? Where do you think like an individual franchisee should be focusing on? What are like the key areas that they can do on their behalf?
Yeah. I've sort of, I've been in franchising for over a decade now, and I have noticed that there are typically three kinds of franchisees. I'll start off with, and we usually call them red, green, yellow. The green are the ones that are the ones that will, they're the puppies that want to jump out of the box. They're the ones that franchisors have to say, slow down, pump the brakes, hold on, because they're always, wanting to do something, those are the great people. They're fantastic, right? And a lot of great ideas come from them. I'll be honest with you, a lot of ideas that we execute in a system-wide approach came from someone locally. So those people really have great ideas and they're passionate. The yellow are the people that they want to do it. They're too busy. There's a lot of reasons why they may not do it to the extent that they want to. And then there are the red, which are the people that if I gave them $1 million, they wouldn't do it for whatever reason. I don't know why. So let's concentrate on the yellow and the green. The yellow and the green, I think there are a lot of great things they could do. And I'll go back to the one thing that I think is the most important thing is authenticity. The fact that you are a local business. I mean, because that's where people get sideways on franchising. They don't understand, and I hear it all the time. It's just amazing to me when I talk to neighbors and people like that. They don't really understand that a local franchisee is a local business owner. They think that they're like the general manager and the big company in the sky somewhere is what's running it. But this is a local community business, just like everyone else. And the more you can remind people of that, the better. The other thing is that, to me, you've got to really, that's the first that's the biggest problem I think franchisees have locally, is that people just don't assume, or they don't think it's a local person, a real person in the community. So the more you can show of how you're involved in the community, you know, the better. Because I mean, and local PR, from a PR perspective, you know, local PR is always key, but it's got to be about you locally, about your story. You know, the more you can tell people your story, people buy from people. And if you can tell me your personal story, tragedy, how you rose from the ashes, all those sort of brand stories that you can tell about yourself, makes people want to do business with you. So the more open you can be, the more transparent you can be about, you know, you're not perfect, you know, all those things, just making yourself a real human being like everyone else, I think is key. And not just sort of jumping in and out of communication. You know, the greens I mentioned earlier, they're the folks that are doing, you know, 2 or 3 posts a day. They're the people that are taking pictures at every little PTA thing they go to, every little baseball thing they go to. They're actively involved, and they're not afraid to promote themselves. So, you know, I usually say less is more, but in this case, I don't necessarily think that's the case. I don't think you can, well, I guess you could. I've never seen it, but to me, I would show more of yourself, show more of your humanity, show more of your personal story. And to me, that's the key, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head, and that's the core message that we try and share. It's that, like, 2020, even before all of this craziness happens, the strategy globally in the marketing industry was local communication. You know, that was the trends on Google, on social, and that's what we see a lot of franchisors moving to. And what that means is you have these franchisees that are now sharing their stories and encouraged to do so. And now more than ever is the opportunity, just like you said, to show what impact they're having on the local community, that they're a part of the local community, and to almost build their reputation as, you know, another small business. Because, you know, in the US, we love to shop local, shop small, and support, you know, our neighbors. So I think that's a really important thing that I agree with you. Maybe franchise organizations are not communicating enough, because a franchise is just, you know, buying into the idea, and it's someone else who's taking their own money and their own business acumen as an entrepreneur to open it up as a franchisee. So I think that's a really important message that can be shared, and that's a really great point.
Yeah, there's 2 things I wanted to say. One is that Google My Business, you better be good at Google My Business, for one. The second thing is that you know, rankings on devices, you know, on Echo, on other parts. I mean, you know, you look at 3 years down the road, maybe not even that long. I mean, it's going to be, you know, if you're not playing that game, you're in trouble, in my opinion, as a local franchisee. If you're not really just maximizing Google My Business, and also looking into how you can be in a search on a device, because devices are where it's at, no question about it.
Definitely. I mean, I think we're all, you know, of the generation phone first, and then if you're obviously on a computer, that's like when you would do that. But I think even when I'm sitting at work on my computer, I pick up my phone to do like quick searches around like neighborhood and distances and stuff. It's crazy how the mobile first or device first world has really made that switch so quickly and become such an ingrained part of our culture.
Well, when my mom is using an Echo to find restaurants or to call people or to whatever, that means it's definitely not cutting edge.
Yeah. No, my grandmother actually just got a smartphone, so it's been really fun teaching her how to use it, and to try and like FaceTime, which is always a great challenge.
Yeah, mine told me the other day, how do I put it in the Google?
Oh yeah. Not even my grandma, my mom, she'd kill me if she heard this. She says, "Give me the Google." It's like our family's like running inside joke. So technology's here, and it's, you know, staying and evolving even quicker. And that's why we need like the marketing channels to keep up with it.